Oh, oh, there we go. All right. Hey, hi, hello. Good evening. Welcome to the middle week. I hope you're doing all right. Hope you're getting things done, moving along, working for the weekend, as some people might say it. Evening to you too, Molecular Shadow Fox. Good to see you as always. How y'all doing tonight? As for me, I'm doing pretty well. Since this week, we have the 4th of July in the U.S. Work's actually been pretty light because most people have taken off already. Because I guess that's tomorrow in U.S. time anyway. Just imagine some of you might already be in July 4th, but for you it would just be another day. For me, it's a holiday. Glad to be home and relaxing. It's been a long day for me. Oh man, middle of the week too. Well, hopefully things will start winding down as the weekend draws near, right? Unlike here in Project Cars, where we're going to be continuing our career, moving along the superkarts. Last week I hit kind of a brick wall with one of the touring car special events. Managed to get through, but I had to kind of break off from there for a bit and rest a bit, and now I'm back and we're going to continue with superkarts, and maybe we'll see if we get to season 3, year 3 at all. Let's get in here. Yeah, we're going back to Kart Club, so doing nicely. It says jump to my next event, but I don't want to do that. Let's enter, right? Let's see if we can just maybe simulate to the next part of this one. Had to haul a 35-ton tractor this afternoon, 250 miles on a low loader. Whew. So it's a lot of weight, a long distance, and a bit of a special condition there. Yeah. You probably had to be extra careful, and you had to keep it up for a while too, so you know what? Major props to you. I think at work we're kind of at a crossroads for our project. It's a bit of limbo because I think the higher-ups aren't sure if they want to continue along with our solution that we're working on, or if they want to perhaps seek out alternative solutions. But I guess we're just gonna wait and see what they think. How's things with you? Oh, there. Yeah. It's another week. Business as usual. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. I swear, higher-ups are always so indecisive. Yeah. It does feel like that sometimes. Kind of a bummer, because you can do all you want, right? You can try to present your position as much as you want, but after a certain point, the decision is taken out of your hands, and then the other people have to decide. And even if you try to prove your case the most, sometimes they just decide, oh yeah, we're just gonna do this other thing because of some other reason. You're like, but in the end, that's how it goes. You wish it would have gone differently, but alas, sometimes life puts you on a different path. That said, I kind of don't envy them either. They're the ones who have to make the big decisions about, where company money goes, where resources get spent, and definitely the kind of thing where, it's gonna be a big deal. So, race 1. Oh, I see. So we're just straight into it. I guess that's why they didn't have a. I wonder why this one doesn't have a qualifying round or anything like that. We just kind of in the middle of it. literally in the middle of it. I mean, granted, it's like front, middle. Well, no, we're actually in the middle because we're like position 6 of 12. A lot of responsibility and stuff, yeah. No, just hope the one you pick is the right one, because sometimes if it's not, well... Oh my god. Hey, can I try that again? Maybe I should try, like, not driving into the other people. It's weird. It's weird that they would just let me, like, ramp up on it like that. Then again, probably better than the alternative. Yeah, for someone like me, I always tend to get hit with, like, the decision paralysis, especially if the decision is going to be something that is going to be a big influence some way or another, right? It's like going to, decide the course of my actions for the next few months, or it's going to be like something I gotta invest a lot of resources into. I always get that sort of anxiety. That's like, what if I pick the wrong one, or what if I like come to regret it, or what if I find out the other one was actually the better option? But after a certain point, you just got to make that decision, right? You just got to pick a path and then go down it, and try not to have second thoughts. And then use whatever lessons you may gather from it, and remember it for the next time. Oh, jeez. It's just like 3 laps, too. So I really can't afford to mess up that much. You should be on my panel when we're doing group interviews and stuff, going through all the resumes and talking with the applicants, etc. Oh, man. I had to admit, I've never been on, like, a job interview panel. I've always been the one being interviewed, and... man. Although I can imagine, that probably comes with its own set of harrowing decisions, right? It's like, alright, you gotta compare each one and then try to determine, okay, which one do you want to take in? Which one do you want to take your chance on? Who do you want to turn down? And maybe, in certain cases, who do you want to keep on file for maybe when a future position opens up and they apply again? Alright, we managed to finish off in a better spot this time, so... Oh, this one's a rolling start, okay. Why do you want to work here and all that? Yeah. Got like the usual interview questions, like, okay, so they give you like maybe sample scenarios or something like, where do you see yourself in 5 years, or like how do you feel about being on call, or something like that, right? Oh wow, that was quite the landing hit. Okay. I'm gonna restart that. I think I actually had like one interview where someone actually presented one of those like thought questions where it's like something like, you gotta drop an egg from a certain distance and make sure the shell doesn't crack, and you got like these materials. What do you do to make sure that it stays uncracked between, like, certain distances? And I think the thing about those questions, when I read about them later, is that, they don't expect you to have, like, the answer on hand. They just want to see what your thought process would be, kind of going through it. Or something like, how do they make M&Ms? something like that. something where it's like, yeah, no, they don't want the actual answer. They just want to see what your thought process is, right? OMG, I hated that. Where do you see yourself question? Yeah, right? It's like, oh boy, how do I answer? Do I say I see myself continuing to work for the company? Do I want to say I'm gonna achieve even higher positions? Or do I want to say I'm continuing to do the job I love so much, or something like that, right? What are they looking for? It, like, becomes a bit of a meta game, and you're trying to figure out, okay, what is their meta? What do they want to see out of the applicants? I do team building exercises to see how they get on with each other. I mean, in certain points that does make sense, right? It's like, yeah, you kind of want to see that everyone kind of knows what they're doing, but there are some other ones that just feel superfluous, right? The ones where they kind of just, like, fly you off to some location and you're doing things like, I don't know, trust falls and things like that. It's like, alright, maybe we don't need that kind of team building, right? Oh, nuts, I just realized we were in an ad break. Probably have to continue this, restart this line of conversation in like a few seconds. Hey, welcome back. Sorry, I didn't realize the ad break was going on. I had to go through that just for a job at the supermarket. We had to build a tower. What? That was part of an interview process? Really? That seems like a bit much. I don't know. Last time I interviewed for a supermarket, I had to take like a 40-page questionnaire that was just mostly, okay, from the scale like 1 to 5, how would you rate these situations and things, and like a couple other, you know, scenario questions. Okay, you got this situation, what would you do here? OMG, those questionnaires, right? Feels like something that's more suited for a personality test, huh? Hey, look at that. Got the Kart Club trophy in round 1. Oh man, we're back into touring cars. Oh, here we go. Simulate. Next session, we're gonna go to qualifying. Here, hopefully this won't be a this won't be an uphill battle. Oh yeah, 1 disagree, 5 strongly agree. And sometimes they try to mix it up on you too. Or you'll see the questions that are just like, yeah, please just rate 4 on this question. They really, really want to make sure that people aren't just like, you know, sleepwalking their way through the questionnaires or that, something like that. It's super annoying. Again, something that seems more suited for a personality test that you just see like on the internet, BuzzFeed or something like that, rather than like, you know, a proper interview / job application. Like, what in the world? They reword the same questions to see if you answer the same. You know, I've noticed that a few times. I noticed that these questions sound awfully similar, and just wondering, oh man. But yeah, I guess I could see that being the case. It's like, oh, yeah, maybe, oh, jeez, okay. I forgot this car handles like a block of ice. Be extremely careful. Or sometimes if they really want to mess you up, they'll like switch the order. They'll have like, you know, 1 is strongly agree and then 5 is like strongly disagree or something like that. Thankfully, they've never gotten beyond just like multiple choice questions. I can only imagine what they would do if they started like including other forms on their application. Like, okay, now rank from highest to lowest these 7 concepts, or like, you know, pick 3 from this list of things that oh boy. I feel like at that point it's no longer a job application. Someone just wanted to flex their web UI skills, right? Oh my god. I have to be like extra slow around those turns, otherwise I'm just gonna go sideways or completely off course. Right? Don't even turn when the arrows are yellow, because that's just gonna spell the end of me. Explain you've demonstrated teamwork and customer service. Oh yeah. Please describe a time in which you did a thing, or you resolved a situation, or you had a conflict and you resolved it. You disagreed with someone and you resolved it. It's like at those points where I just like make something up. It's like, oh yeah, I'll just try to think of a situation where things worked out in my favor, right? Try to go, yeah, hey, look me, I can resolve situations just fine. Oh yeah. That being said, those kinds of questions I feel like are mostly in the entry-level positions. There was one time I tried to apply for like a more advanced job, and those folks were like asking the more technical stuff, right? Like things like directly related to qualifications they were looking for. So like, for example, they might ask for like say C++ skills, and then one of the interviewers might directly ask like questions related to C++ and things like that, right? Or, if they need someone to, like, handle electrical systems, they might ask, like, really technical electrical questions or something like that. I guess that's, like, the real filter right there, right? Someone who just applies for the sake of applying, and someone who actually read over the description and is applying with the intent to, have that job. To be honest, it's sometimes just easier to work on your own. That way you're not getting birthed by lazy team members. I know a lot of people who are like that. They're like, yeah, I don't like group projects, and I can see why. If you're in a good group, you get everyone pulling their weight and has their separate set of skills and manages to provide their own strengths to a group, that usually works out, but yeah, most of the time you get the ones where you get like a handful of folks pulling the entire group along and everyone else is just kind of coasting. It's a bummer when it happens. How many times have you seen on YouTube videos of the horrors of group projects? I've read a few stories about it, too. And, a couple of anecdotes from friends I've made along the way, too. But yeah, at least when you're working by yourself, your success and failure will lie entirely on you. You don't have to worry about anyone else like completely botching it up for you. You can just do everything yourself and do it to the best of your ability and know that you tried. You can get your head down and get on with things, yeah. Especially if it's like one of those projects where you kind of need all the parts to come together in order to fully test it. That's when you really need everyone to pull their weight, and then if that doesn't happen, then things just get hairy. At that point, you have to start like doing contingency plans, or you have to go to the teacher and tell them, hey, it's not quite working out with these folks. Oh my god, I might have to restart this qualifying session. I need to actually, like, put in a time. I don't think I've even gotten one in yet because I keep going off course. And it's not getting any better. It's raining. Like, this thing was pretty challenging to control before. It's going to be even worse in the rain. Damn. And even after all my driving, I'm still just like P20. Man. I could just like get one lap where I don't wipe out. Or, you know, don't go off track. Can I just restart this? Sheesh.
Go, go, go.
All the time you just want to say, oi, pull your fingers out of your arses and do some work, right? That's why I like it when some teachers do it, like at the end of a project, you get like a group member rating form where you can rate how much each person, you know, pulled their weight. And that's when you can really give it to the other folks, right? Although there might be, depending on the people, there might be cases where they try to sabotage you. In that case, you just gotta cover your butt. I guess that kind of sets you up for the real world, right? Because, yeah, in the real world, there's going to be people who want to give you what for as well. And you get that other can of worms checking for plagiarism that can soon turn into World War III. An endless battle. Although from what I've read, like, plagiarism detecting tools have become so advanced that you really can't get away with it. Right? You can't really just copy, paste, like, even sections of a paper, because it will probably get picked up. Like, even if you paraphrase, it might not be enough to get you all the way through. Group chat soon turn into flame wars. Oh, yeah, right. Among the group, too, right? You gotta make sure that people among the group aren't just, like, phoning it in. Because, hey, that's kind of, like, your grade on the line, too. You want that all that stuff to be authentic and top-notch, and, well... Sure, trust your teammates, but you also gotta cover your own ass as well. It actually reminds me of a thing that happened in middle school, because I was part of a math bowl team, and we were at like a competition, and my team and I, we were doing problems and stuff, and you know we did a divide and conquer approach, and I was the team leader, and you know, one of my teammates said, "Oh yeah, I got this answer for the problem. Here it is." And I was like, oh, this is like one of those problems where it's like worded in a way that people might get tripped up by it and easily arrive at a wrong answer. So I double checked to make sure it was right. And for some reason, one of my other teammates got like super annoyed by that, right? Even though the answer was indeed wrong and I managed to correct it. They were like, what the fuck? Why didn't you trust us? How dare you? I'm like, but yo, that was like one of those like trick type questions, and we were gonna like miss out on the point. And they're like, but you didn't trust us. Like, dude, I let the other answers go by without a problem. I just I don't know. That one always stuck with me. It was like, look, it's not that I don't think they're dumb, it's just that I know this is one of those things where it's like, you know, maybe... I don't know. Did anyone ever have that situation where you had to, like, lead a group, but then some people kind of took issue with it some way or another. Best time. Well, that was like one lap where I managed to not completely wipe out. Now it looks like I'm still P20. Sheesh. Is this like one of those preview events in Burnout where they just give you a taste of what you're going to encounter later? Right? You're like in the Super League and they decided to give you a hypercar event so you can just see how fast that these things can get. Oh, here we go. P1, finally. All it took was just, like, not completely eating it. Super hard. Gotta admit, I have never seen people refer to positions as, like, you know, P number until Forza Motorsport 2023. I'm guessing that's like just established racing terminology, but goes to show how much I pick up on these things, right? Yep, in science we had to create something that would keep an egg warm for the longest time. OMG, passive aggression, Valley Girl voice, you're obviously, like, so wrong. Next time, like, ask me, I know how to do this, passive aggressive smile. Oh. One of the annoying types of group members, the person who thinks they know it all, but ends up not really knowing anything. They're the ones who just, like, exude confidence, right? Everything they say, they are, like, absolutely certain of it. They can't possibly be wrong. Everyone just follows them because they just, they just carry themselves like that. I feel like those are dangerous types of people because I think, like, most folks are naturally drawn to those who have an air of confidence about them. And those who are just, like, wrong all the time but still try to, or still think that they're the best of the best and cannot be faltered in any way. It ends up kind of having ripple effects if things get bad enough, right? Jack of all trades, master of none, the sort that are never wrong no matter what topic, right? Reminds me of a conversation I had, because, like, we were talking about Among Us, I think, right? I was talking with, like, a friend of a friend, and they were going, oh, yeah, because Among Us has, like, just, like, in-game voice chat, right? I was like, no, I'm pretty sure that's, like, a mod, right? You had to mod it in order to get that sort of, you know, proximity voice chat. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure that's an option. What I really should have done is just, like, looked up the features and kind of showed them the mod, because I did find it later, but honestly, that topic really wasn't worth, you know, completely going to bat over, so I just dropped it. I guess that's the other thing about life you learn about, it's just, like, knowing when to pick your battles, right? Not every hill is kind of worth taking a stand on. I feel like that's an easy way to get yourself exhausted fast, too, when you're just, like, you know, treating every conversation as, like, a battle for the ages and things like that. Or just treating conversations like battles in general. Sometimes you can just have a conversation. Plus, some things just aren't worth arguing over, right? I'm starting to realize that, like, when I get older and older, I just like looking at, you know, comments, forum posts, social media posts, things like that. I'm like, you know, I could say something here. Or I could just, like, move on. I could go back to playing games, watching videos, streams, whatever. Not waste my brain space on these folks. Because that's the thing about, like, most internet people, it's that they're not going to budge on their positions no matter what. You could hit them with, like, all the... you could argue with them until you're blue in the face, and then, you know, you still won't make any headway one way or another. So you might as well just not, right? Don't worry about it too much. Don't let them live rent-free in your head, as they might say. I still like that phrase. I don't know where I first heard it, but living rent-free just has that sort of sass to it. It's like, boy, you're really just letting them gnaw at you, right? They might have completely forgotten about you, right? This just might be an M. Bison situation where the day they fought with you was like the greatest day of your life, but for them it was Tuesday. They've already moved on to the next argument. Furry Twitter is like that. Then folks say you're not a furry if you don't have a fursuit or dino mask on the fursuit, just a toy, and so the arguments go on and on. Oh my god. I feel like most fandoms are like that. There you got the ones that will try to aggressively gatekeep who is a fan and who isn't. Oh, we made it. Also made it in P1 too, so. At the very least, I won't have to worry about fighting my way to the front. I just have to worry about not messing up majorly. Or, like, even at all. Like, these touring car events. At least this one. If the last one is any indication, I can't have any unforced errors. But at the very least, I don't have to be aggressive. I just have to be consistent. But yeah, I'm not. I hate gatekeeping so much. I remember the days of, like, the mid-10s. There's this game that just came out called Gone Home, I think. And, like, there was a subset of the internet that was big mad about it. Because, OMG, why are they calling this a video game? You are just walking and reading about things. Other people are like, look, it's a game because you use a controller to control it. Not every game has to have, you know, big action or you know, collectibles or, like, UI elements that you commonly associate with it or things like that. It's a really big umbrella, and a lot of things could fall in their video game, but it's like even to the point where some people would derisively refer to Gone Home as like a visual novel. I'm like, come on, y'all. Visual novels are games too, like, come on. Right, they aren't all just like choose your adventure book style. I've seen some ones that do have like maybe a bit of light resource management or stats raising, or like even quick time events or things like that. It's like, I don't know. Just because some other people enjoy a game that's not to your taste doesn't make it any better or worse. It just makes it different. That's all. You can still enjoy your games. They can enjoy games too. There's enough there for everyone. Look at those point-and-click games that were super popular back in the day, right? Remember King's Quest, Sam & Max, Monkey Island. All those classics. I do want to play those games. At least the, the updated versions, like Sam & Max Save the World, Time and Space, the 3D King's Quest games, and Monkey Island as well, right? I'm gonna at least do the Monkey Island remasters. OMG, those adventure books were so big when I was in high school. Yeah, right. I think the series that was popular in the US was like Choose Your Own Adventure. They had like, I want to say they went up to like 100, and they had a couple of spin-offs too. One that like tackled more epic subjects, or maybe had some more dark themes to them, things like that. There was another one I remember that was like that was styled like a D&D adventure. It had like the stats and everything, right? You had like certain points that could raise your stats and lower your stats, or you could gain skills, and that would determine the outcome of some later events, right? It would go like, if your dexterity is 3, go to this page, and if it's not 3, go to this other page. I'm gonna try to like hunt down those books because some of them were pretty fun. If I remember correctly, there was like a thing on the internet that let you create your own, like, choose your own adventure style stories. It'd be like the perfect kind of thing for a fledgling writer to kind of get into, right? Or maybe that might be more difficult because you have to write a story that kind of makes sense, and you got to have elements that that at least stay consistent across multiple paths. I imagine that could get tricky fast. Biggest thing for me in high school were those point horror books. I love those. I bought so many of those for my collection. Point horror. I don't think I've heard of those. Yeah, the horror was usually a good theme for a choose-your-own-adventure type of story, right? Surviving in a hostile location. You got an unknown pursuer after you. What do you do? Lordy, they're coming. At least I thought they were coming. I'm surprised. Usually at least 10 of them go by me. Maybe I just, like, built up enough a lead where they were like, alright, we'll give you that one mega wipeout, just don't do it again. There were a big series of horror books by multiple authors aimed at early teens. Ah, okay. I think we had something kind of like that. I remember way back when, as a kid, there was a series that like hit off super big with us. It was like called Goosebumps. I guess it wasn't more horror than it was just more like, weird things happening. I guess it was horror enough for kids, right? You don't want to hit them with something like genuinely scary. Oh my god. On the last lap too. All right. Can try that again. Curse you, rain. I swear, all that time my car was like trying to swerve to the right. I was just like, had my stick going in the other direction the whole time, and I was just drifting down that track like I was playing Initial D or something. Ah, yes, I remember the books in the TV show. The TV show was always on Fox Kids / Jetix here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did have a Goosebumps TV show. Huh. I mean, I could see how it'd work out, right? It would be like the kids' version of those anthology shows, like Twilight Zone and shows like that. We're about to enter ad mode soon, so we'll see you in about a minute and a half. Okay, I don't think this one is going as bad. I think maybe I'm just like figuring out the handling of this car, or maybe I'm just getting lucky, not quite sure. It's like when the rain comes when things start getting hairy. I think it's mostly because I don't compensate for it. If it went a little slower, maybe things would be different. I'll try that. This game does have like a single race mode. See, this is probably one of those parts where if it were raining, I'd be like careening into a wall right now. Guess I still haven't quite nailed down what exactly makes this car just like completely swerve out of control and what just lets me barely keep it in control. I'm almost certain it's like if I try to steer while I'm accelerating, that's when things get super tricky. If I'm not doing that, then... or at the very least not doing both of them a lot at the same time. Should be okay. Some of those old school Twilight Zone episodes were good, the black and white ones. That they were. There's a reason why they get referenced a lot. I think the one I remember the most was the guy who survived like an apocalypse. Right? He finally comes out of his bunker. He's like, "Oh man, I got all the time in the world to read books," and he breaks his glasses. Like, "No, I cannot read books anymore." I think that one stands out to me because I think it was like Futurama that parodied it. And he goes like, "Oh no, my glasses broke. Well, at least I have my contacts." And then, you know, all those break, and then eventually he like his head explodes or something like that. But it gets progressively more ridiculous. I remember they referenced that on Family Guy. Oh yeah, Family Guy would reference that. It's a pretty good layup of a reference to make. Reference Twilight Zone. And if you're not doing glasses, you're probably going to do something like "to serve man," or the one where the kid just like teleports everyone to a cornfield. I mean, they referenced that in Shadows Over Loathing. That was like a whole segment of its own. Once again, it's lap 3 where everything goes south. Just because I'm behind, it does not mean I should start getting reckless. Okay, might have to restart again. It's always when it gets super rainy, that's when it all just goes blah. I think I just need to be extra slow in the rain. I just need to dial it back. I can't drive like I do on pavement. On dry pavement, I should say. Obviously, don't go off track. That's when things get mega hairy. Being the only person, I can see that being fun for a few minutes, but I think the loneliness would really get to you. I can see that, yeah. It's like summer vacation, right? You're just like super looking forward to it because you're just like, "Oh man, it's gonna be the best thing ever." And then, you know, you get like a few days, a few weeks into it, and you're like, all right, I did everything I want to do. When's the next shake-up to my routine? As my mom always says, there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. I've heard that one before, for sure. I think there was like the subject of a Sesame Street episode too, where forget who it was, but like one of the Muppets wished it was like Christmas every day, because you know Christmas is like a super exciting time of the year. But you know, if Christmas is every day, it stops being so special. So you know, it's fun. Christmas is fun like the first few days, but then it starts becoming routine, and you know you're suffering the consequences of having too many Christmases as well. Right, you got like stuff piling up and everything, so there's also that. Of course, the whole moral of that story is, yes, there is such thing as too much of a good thing, and there's a reason why the best events tend to be very limited time affairs too, right? Or like conventions, right? I can't imagine those people who have to go like to a convention, like, say, even every month. How do they do that? Especially with, like, how much it costs and how much energy it can take out of you. Say bye-bye to any diets with a Christmas dinner every day, right? That food just be way too rich. Don't get me wrong, I like my ham, I like my turkey, I like my potatoes and gravy. But that is definitely a sometimes food. That is not an all-the-time food. His ass is driving! Hello, Muck Pie. All things in moderation, right? That's usually the best way to do things. Not too much, not too little. Hello! Hello! How are you doing tonight? I think 4 days is just enough for a con. Any longer, I think I get proper burned out. Yeah, I feel like 4 days might be the upper limit. Not just for the people, but for the organizers too. You gotta rent out that space, and the people have to make time for it. And you gotta worry about, you know, things like traffic and logistics and businesses around it. A lot of things to take into account there. I'm doing my best tonight. How about you? I'm doing pretty all right. It's a slightly lighter week because 4th of July here in the U.S., so things are winding down. In fact, they kind of already did wind down because tomorrow I have off of work, and you know, amusingly enough, Friday is not a day off, but some people obviously have taken off anyway because who wants to go in just for a day? Why not just like make it a long weekend? But I'm not doing that. I'll save my vacation days for other events. To be honest, I completely forgot about the 4th of the Mao. Yeah, after a while, it kind of all blends together, right? It was like, oh yeah, there's this other thing that happened, and my God, get back on track, you son of a... There we go. Not a moment too soon, but that's like my one error. I cannot mess up anymore because, oh my God, these people are still approaching. How do they do it? How do they go faster than me and not, like, completely botch it? Seriously, this motherfucker is overtaking me. I feel like if I went as fast as I did, I'd be going sideways down the road. Seriously, why is it always got to start off dry and it just like start raining or overtime. Ah. Take it from the top again. One of these days I'm gonna get the run. Lucky, wish I had tomorrow off. I'm sure you got your own set of holidays too, right? In fact, you probably get more than we do. Gonna be chaos tomorrow. It's a voting day. Oh, is it? Oh man. This is sick of hearing about it. Oh, man, yeah. I feel like things are only gonna get ramping up here in the U.S. because yeah, we got our election in November, and yeah. Anyways. Does your job do the thing where they let you have like a few hours off to go vote? I think my job lets me do that, right? It's like a voting day, and they let you take a few hours off to go to your polling place and put in your vote. Something I can appreciate because everyone's got to go, and everyone has to be able to make their voice heard. You gotta accommodate them. Yeah, we do. Alright, cool. That's always nice. All schools closed because they're used as voting stations. Ooh. I mean, it works out both ways too, right? Kids get to have some extra time off, or maybe their classes get rearranged, depending, I'm not sure. And everyone else gets to take some time off to make their voice heard. I know I'm seeing like more people saying that voting day should just be a whole day off, so that people can have a lot of time. Because, especially in the U.S., you might not be in the position where you can just like get to your polling place in a few minutes. You might have to. It might take a while for you to get there, and even then, you might have to wait even longer to actually vote. So some people might need a lot of time to kind of do what they need to do, and that should just be a thing that everyone gets. They get enough time off school as it is. The schools I went to used to do a thing where they would have like a conference day where the kids would just get a day off, but for the teachers they would have to prepare notes and to have the one-on-one with the parents to let them know how the students are doing. Always a boon for us students, but maybe not quite for anyone else. Oh, teacher training day and all of that, or inset day as we call it. Ah, okay. Yeah, it's just like a day for staff to kind of get things in order. I guess it works out, because, during the weekdays they would have to work anyway, and, might as well give them some time to kind of recalibrate, get things back into gear. Because, teachers are already doing, like, a heck of a lot off time. Don't want to pile up even more stuff on them. Like, I imagine especially for the teachers, they probably work a lot on their off time, because they gotta grade the students' papers, they gotta maybe do some tutoring sessions or like study sessions with certain groups, or they might be running clubs after school, or they might have to devise their lesson plans, or they like a whole host of other things, and it's just, yeah. For real, a friend of mine is a teacher, and it's rough going. Especially in the US, because, man, do we not value our teachers enough. I had a friend who tried to be a teacher. I think he only made it like 2 years before he decided to just seek another line of work. Not quite sure what he does now, but I know he's not teaching anymore. She spends half her time doing stuff at home in the evenings preparing the next day. Yeah. And sometimes, depending on like what happens, you just really gotta get home and just kind of unwind. Like, damn. She teaches high school. I was like, you really are a glutton for punishment. Well, hey, you know what? More power to her, right? She's going in there. I'm pretty sure she knows what she's doing, what she's in for. She's properly prepared for it. Guess it depends on the kids you get. I really can't say the age range either, because kids of any age can be especially sweet, and they can also be, like, especially cruel. 11 to 14-year-olds are some of the worst ever. Well, it is a bummer when you get, like, you know, the group of kids who are just especially mean and stuff like that. God. I wasn't even off of the first lap. Yeah. Even earlier than that, you see the cliques starting to develop in primary school and stuff. Oh, yeah. Just the groups being kind of set in there. That's why moving schools can be hard on someone, because, you know, you come in like the middle of a group, and they've already got their friends established and everything, and sometimes you have to hope there's someone in there who will take you in. You get that look like, who are you and why are you here, right? Well, it's like people said, the center that properly processes consequences of actions isn't properly developed in kids yet, which is why you see a lot of kids just doing reckless things and not really thinking it through, because, you know, they really haven't. And sometimes it just takes like a good life lesson to make them realize, oh yeah, no, there is consequences for action sometimes. Unfortunately, you get those other kids who have other people who will try to shield them from those consequences as much as possible, and that's when you get the folks who kind of become the worst kind of adult. sometimes if you're lucky, you will get the few kids who will at least, not just like jump headlong into everything, but at least try to reason things out or ask someone if they should be doing something. Usually with a mom called Karen. It's usually how it works out. Sometimes it's like parent, like child, right? You can see how they take off after each other. On the other hand, you do see like instances of adults who are like the worst people you know, but their kids are the exact opposite of that. Sometimes that's like the other things about kids, they just like want to not be their parents as much as possible. And that can be a good thing, especially in the cases where, parents are jerks and kids are like, wow, I totally do not want to be like you at all. And they end up being like the nicest people ever. And you're like, hang in there. You can do it. Say, see there, I wasn't even like going that fast. It's like goddamn rolled right over me. Those ones that live through their kids with sports or anything competitive. Well, thanks for that, dieter, right? Yeah, I'm not a fan of those either. I've seen it a few times too, the ones where their kids really don't get to decide what they do, their parents do, right? They say, oh yeah, I got a thing to do, and you can kind of like just tell that it's the last thing they want to do, but they just got to do it because that's what their parental authority has told them that they will be doing. Only have to watch an episode of Dance Mums to see that. Yeah, the ones I think we have like a couple shows on here that's about pageant kids, and that's always a harrowing sight. The worst show ever, right? Yeah, I certainly get that feel. I feel like as a kid there were certain activities that I was kind of pushed into, or it was even worse than that. I was just told, oh yeah, you're going to do this thing, and suddenly that was like my new routine, right? I just suddenly, I'd be like sleeping, and then suddenly I'd have my mom tell me to go, wake up, get in the car, because we're going to a science program, and that's what we're going to be doing now. I'm like, wow. When did I agree to this? Obviously I didn't. They just decided, yes, this is what you will be doing now. Now, I think the worst one they did was like, oh yeah, we're going to sign you up for a kids government program now. Like, I'm not even interested in being a politician. Why the fuck are you pulling me into this? That was an absolutely miserable semester right there. 3 hours of my life, like every 2 days of the week, that I could have been doing literally anything else. Oh, I guess I'm doing this now. Right. What happened to consent? At least ask me first. Well, that's the thing, right? Some parents really don't view their kids as their own autonomous people. They just view them as like... I mean, you've seen games like Princess Maker, right? They see them as kind of like that. Just like a little sim that they direct here and there and raise their attributes here and there and just like hope that the future works out for them and they make the big bucks and gets them all the big names and recognition and all that. It's like, to them, they don't consider like personal happiness a stat. At least, you know, not your personal happiness. Their personal happiness is something different entirely. My mom did a similar thing to me, tried to sign me up for Boys Brigade. That went over like a lead balloon. Oh, man. It's like when they don't even take into account what you like and what you don't like. That's when it starts super sucking, right? Well, they had to look good in front of the Joneses. You know, that was actually like literally my parents' motivation. They wanted that perceived reputation gain. They wanted to be able to, at the next family gathering, go, oh yeah, well, my kid, they went to summer camp and they learned a lot of cool subjects. Look at me, aren't I great? Because I raised that kid. That's what it feels like sometimes. Yeah, it's like, what about me says I want to be camping with a group of boys and doing merit badges and all that. I'm not an outdoors person. Oh my god, even when I'm like playing the most cautious, I decide to doobie and... I felt like I was being extra careful too, and I still hit a road bump. Honestly, it would be like one thing if one error sent me, you know, maybe a place or two, but when it sends me back that far on the third lap, there's like not much time to recover. I was like, you know, play too recklessly and wipe out, lose positions. And I end up being like, you know, as careful as I think they want me to be, I end up losing positions anyway. It's like, oh, man. What is the equilibrium here? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, those old school cross-ply tires and water don't mix. They certainly don't. All the troubles do start, like, on lap 3. That's when the rain's really coming down hard. It's weird. Like, even lap 2, the rain's starting, but I still feel like things are manageable. 3 is just like, oh yeah, I gotta go. Like, mega extra slow, but even then, like, mega extra slow just allows everyone else to eventually catch up and overtake me. Almost looks like it needs a paving slab or spoiler on, or some rear grip. Might help. Also, we're in ad mode. Felt like I was good at calling that out last week, but I need to start getting good at calling that out again. Like, hey, ad mode soon. Just go get a drink, get some rest, get a bathroom break. Do whatever you need to do. We'll see you in 90 seconds. Also, you may have noticed, but I am somehow like just facing off against a massive influx of loud noises. It's a bit annoying. I was not expecting it on July 3rd. Usually I would expect like a lot of noise on July 4th because, you know, July 4th, but a lot of it tonight. I wonder if this is because they expect people to be away tomorrow, I guess. I don't know, visiting other people. Never made July 4th a visitation day myself. I was like, alright, maybe we'll do a cookout thing. At least for me, it's like a pseudo cookout, because I don't actually get a grill or anything. I'm not in a place where I can do grilling stuff. I'd probably have to go to a steakhouse if I want, like, grilled food. All I can hear in my background is the 50-mile-per-hour winds we're having. Oh, jeez. High winds are no joke, man. I imagine that makes trucking, like, especially tricky. Because you gotta be able to compensate for your cab just getting blown around. Awful, yeah. I can imagine. I bet. Especially on bridges and stuff. Oh boy, yeah. I think that's where, like, the biggest risk would be. Because, you know, guardrails and barriers can be handy, but can only do so much against a really heavy load. Okay, this is where I really gotta start being extra careful. Gotta start locking in. The moment I see yellow, it's just like, brake. Gotta start being like my driving instructor. Just brake when I'm like 50 million miles away from a turn. Oh my god, I already got like the motherfuckers right behind me. I mean, if I stay on the driving line, I should be safe, right? They won't pull ahead of me like that. Also, gotta remember, don't accelerate and steer, one or the other. And don't steer in one direction for too long, because that feels like when I get most prone to spin outs. You can feel the whole thing swing as you're trying to keep it at 56 miles per hour. Oh man. The heck? Do you see what Morgan did? Cut me off through the grass. If I tried that, I would be like careening into a wall. Look, I didn't even go into the grass and I still careened into a wall. What the actual shit? Should I just follow through? I think I've been retrying for like a really long time now. It's just not happening. I don't even think I turned like the difficulty back up. This is just like goddamn 1%. And they're still like, yeah. You get the rain and you get the mega cracked drivers. Have fun, chuckle nuts. You know what if I just like eat the results? I'll just like take the 12th for this one and see where it goes from here, cuz I am done with this motherfucking race. Fuck that. Charlie Morgan, sure. I'm still tied for first at 25, fools. Hey, Azure, a few things went wrong out there, it seems. Yeah, some guy cheated and had, like, off-road tires on their car. What the heck? You should probably look into that. Yeah, the AI gave you a shunt and it got you sideways. Ah, yeah. Road Entry Club, UK Cup. Gonna be racing different type of car here. Bolton Park Fosters.
Go, go, go!
Oh, here's hoping. I think I've driven this car before. I don't think this one is horrible at driving. Well, the funny thing is, I actually did, the short today I put out was, like, the one where I got back on the road and just, like, smacked by 2 cars. I actually did get a comment on that. And, you know, they kind of had a point. It was like, man, why are you getting back on the road when there were cars going down on it? And I'm like, you know what? In real life, yeah, that would make sense. If it were a multiplayer game, you would also be making sense, but this is just like, you know, a single-player race against AI. I don't care. What are they gonna do? They can't rage at me. They aren't playing fair, so why should I? Oh man, I'm gonna get back on the road as soon as I can. Even if it does mean I end up setting myself open to getting smacked around like I did in the short. Still remember the one you did from Need for Speed where the AI was like lemmings going off that cliff. Oh yeah. And then they were just respawning. They were respawning over the gap and just like falling into it over and over. That was wild. I'm so glad that was caught on stream. This absolute break in just like the systems just gave me that win. I probably would have not made it past there had it not been for that particular bug. Worked in my favor. I really need to start like doing more clips of my stuff. I think the last clips I put up were like actually the Need for Speed one and another one I did. It was like a couple months ago. And even before that, the last clips before that were like many, many more months after that. I think what I gotta do is just at least like clip out the moments I turn into shorts on YouTube. Just like turn that into like Twitch clips. It'd be like the raw version, and the YouTube would be like the bit more edited version of that. Gotta take every advantage, right? Especially something like that, you know, it's not gonna show up again, or at the very least, if it does, it's gonna be very hard to replicate. Yeah, could you imagine if I had to restart after getting that massive advantage because of that bug? Had to do everything fair and square from then on. I was like, oh no. I'm not sure if I would survive that. Have you ever had a moment like that? A moment where you just had like a lucky break? It doesn't have to be in the game necessarily, it could just be like anywhere else. You know, maybe a vending machine dropped 2 snacks for you instead of 1, or you just got like a free size upgrade when you ordered some food or something like that. I don't know why both of my examples were sort of food related there. I had dinner. Maybe I should just have dessert after this. Got a lot of fruit. I still have some fruit from when I bought it the other week. I really ought to finish that off. That'll be my next few nights. Just conclude it with a fruit platter. Some strawberries, some grapes, some blueberries. Nice and juicy and tasty. OMG, the unmitigated joy of getting 2 snacks for 1 in the vending machine. Especially those ones that have the spring type things that deliver the snack to you. Oh yeah, like the grabber arms. Those are fun. I think I remember reading a story somewhere where someone walked up to a vending machine. They saw, like, there was one particular snack that was precariously leaning out. So they decided to go buy another snack. And that one dropped in such a way that it managed to knock the other snack out of its perch, and then they got both snacks. And I was like, oh yeah. A little bit of strategy went a long way there. Pain of getting crisps and the bag leans and gets stuck on the glass. Oh my god. I guess that's the flip side to it, when you pay for your snack and it doesn't drop. I've actually had other instances happen to me, because there's another vending machine where they would like open the thing momentarily, let the thing drop, and you know, that's how it would work. But then I saw the thing open and then close, but my snack never dropped. Luckily, the place where that happened to me, they also had like forms on the side you could fill out if there was some sort of error, and just like drop that off. It was nice too, because like a few days later you would like you know, someone would come up to you and go, yeah, we got your thing, we saw the complaint and we reviewed it, and you're like, all right, well, we'll give you your change back. And like, cool. Always made my day. Those soda machines are so violent with how they yeet the can into the bottom thingy, right? The kind of thing where it's like, alright, I guess I'll just hold this can for a bit now, because it's definitely way shaken up. And you know what, can I just like skip to the end, or simulate? You know what, we'll simulate the remainder of this. Actually, we could just skip to the end. We already set like some good lap time, so we can continue to the race. Starting in P2. It's a good enough spot. I think most of the vending machines around me, though, do like soda bottles now. So at least that one's a bit easier to manage, because you can do the thing where you maybe open the cap a little bit. When you start seeing the fizz form, you're like, alright, close it, wait a bit, and then just like alternate that for a little bit until all the fizz goes out and there's like no more risk of the drink just spilling out all over your hand. It's like either that or you just buy a bottle of juice, because, you know, that's not gonna fizz out all over you. I always get some yummy snacks out of the machine after going swimming. Imagine, especially after swimming, because that takes up a lot of energy. Like, I used to do swimming as like a I was part of the swim team for a bit, and yeah, I haven't noticed that after like the afternoons where I would be training, right, doing after school practice, I would go home and I would kind of eat a lot more than I would usually. So, you know, just like moving through the water and floating in it does take a lot of energy, and it does tire you out a lot too. Funny thing is, the only reason only reason I ever did the sports teams while I was, you know, still doing school, college, was to get gym credit, right? Because I think my schools had a thing where if you joined a sports team, right, you didn't have to do the associated gym class for that semester, so that'd be like time I could put to something else. Which admittedly at my school was not that much, but I don't know. It's still kind of fun to be able to kind of, you know, take advantage of that. Quick dip in a small pool was always nice because it was always super warm, like a jacuzzi, especially at the recreational centers. That was like maybe my favorite part of a resort. Not only did you have the big old pool that everyone could have fun in, there was also the smaller pool that was more of like a spa. You could just jump in there and have yourself a bit more relaxed time. Oh, hey, a one-round event. I like that. Hey, invitation email from Salamander. Oh, I think I see how these work. They give you the invitation, and that's when the event then pops up in your calendar. You can then choose to take it or not. We can go round 2-3 of Kart Club. Oh. We're just going right into the race, okay. It was a huge F for me in anything sports related. Me and sports don't mix. Yeah, I was not the sportiest. I'm not the most athletic person either. I think like everyone on the team realized that. There's like a reason where, like, you know, I think in college they only required like a cumulative number of physical education credits, and once they started like offering up you know, non-gym related alternatives, I totally got into it. I was like, history of sports, and what, this is a physical education credit? Yeah, sure. I'll take it gladly. Whenever I had PE, I'd disappear into the library. I wasn't about to do rugby and cross country at the height of winter. Oh man. And no one should. Making kids go outside when it's cold out is the very definition of insanity. What the heck? Personally, I did the job, but don't expect me to stay after school. That's one way to do it, right? Just be part of the go home club. That's totally okay. Stay, yeah, stay after school. Also, hi Venom. Wow, that was quick. Now for race 2. Whenever we did cricket, I'd be the umpire because it was the easiest thing. Yeah, I can see that. You only have to stay in one place, and the most you have to do is just make sure you get the calls right. That's probably not hard. Hopefully you didn't have, like, the kids who would try to argue with you. Or you make a certain call and they go, no, it was totally this other thing. Hi, how's it going? It's going pretty well for me. Since we're having a holiday tomorrow in the US, I think my week is, like, super winding down now. Other than that, it's been an okay week. How are you? Weather were just more like this, just the entire time it's just sunny out. No sudden transition to rain over the course of the event. This is the kind of thing I can manage. Worst part was we'd have cross-country right before dinner, so if you dawdle at the back, you'd be late to eat. What the heck? Why would you even do that? Imagine kids would already be exhausted going through the day, and you're making them run on an empty stomach. That's not... that does not seem like a good thing to do at all. And you're gonna punish those people who are slow by giving them less time to eat, because I have to imagine they're not gonna accommodate for you getting in there late. You just gotta vacuum everything into your mouth if you got less time to eat. We'd walk around and take a shortcut around the golf course. There you go. Another invite. Oh no, Le Mans. We're back here. Touring car 2. Let's see, opponent skills at 0. Oh. Especially on Wednesday, because that was Fry's Day. Ooh! I guess you did have those kinds of events at your school where the lunch menu is just consistent and to an extent. I think for us, we'd always get excited when it was calzone day, because, you know, calzones, at least the calzones they served at my school were better. They were better than most of the other stuff they would serve, so we would always look forward to that. Because, you know, a good calzone is like pretty much, you know, it's like a better stuffed pizza. Q was out the door when it was fries on the menu. Rest of the time, I'd have stuff from home. Ah, okay. So you were like the packed lunch kind of fella. I'd admit, like later on in my school life, I did do a lot more packed lunches. Because there, you would have like a lot more control over what you got to eat. I don't know, your parents would usually know better what kinds of stuff you would eat. It was nice too, because you get your drink, you get like some sort of sandwich and maybe a snack item to go with it. You know, your lunch box or your lunch bag was probably like super cool too. At least mine were, to an extent. That was a sandwich all year long, guy. Can't go wrong with a nice sandwich. Exactly. And it's very, very hard to, like, completely mess up a sandwich. I know most of the time for lunch, at least these days, I like to do a nice deli sandwich. Just like, some days it'll be a simple ham and cheese. Other days I might fancy it up with some lettuce and tomatoes, or maybe switch up the meat, or instead of like, you know, mayonnaise and mustard, I might add some dressing instead. Lots of ways to kind of mix it up, and you know, you're still gonna get your fill anyway. Ham, barm cake, pack of crisps, and a fizzy drink. Ah, you got the sodas, huh? I think for me, always got the juice pouches. You know, things like the Capri Sun. Kid me had a lot of fun with that, because, you know, you got to punch the straw through the hole, but these days it's like, you know, juice barely fills you up now. You end up drinking that whole thing in like maybe half a second. Might have to bust out a second pouch in order to completely quench your thirst. For supper, I'll throw on some thick bacon under the grill and have that with some ketchup for a nice bacon sandwich. This does sound pretty good. Personally, I like my bacon in like BLT form. Give me some lettuce and tomato with that. And then maybe I'll like have it with a bit of mayonnaise. It's just like the right combo of flavors for me. It's like cool, crispy lettuce, juicy tomato, and savory bacon. This is a good combo. I like Capri Sun, but they were never big enough, right? They were probably sizable enough for a kid, but yeah, the adult me would probably need at least like 2 pouches in order to go, alright, that was sufficient amount of juice. But even then, usually if I were in a situation where I'd have to drink juice, there were usually better juice alternatives to have. Like, you know, why go for Capri Sun when I could just get like a, you know, slightly bigger bottle of apple juice that is probably cheaper and would be just as quenching. Alright, at the very least, it seems like this event isn't gonna pull a fast one on us and make it rain all of a sudden, so... Maybe I'm speaking too soon. Maybe they'll pull a fast one on us during the actual race and have it rain on the final lap. Also, we're having an ad break coming soon, so... Rest up, do what you need to do, and I'll see you in like maybe 90 seconds. Oh my god. I wish we weren't in ad mode, because I would totally call out that person that just suddenly swerved out there. Like, what the heck? Believe me, if I tried that, I would once again just be going right into a wall. No way I'd be able to pull off that nonsense. What the heck, man? Fastest lap. Invalidated. That's fine. I already got a lap recorded. Welcome back, everyone. Fourth year high school, I started bringing cup ramen and borrowing the art teacher's kettle for the hot water. Whoa! That's kind of cool, actually. Trying to wonder if someone would be able to do something like that where I went to. Probably not. At least, like, back in the day, kettles weren't exactly, like, a thing in the US. Or at the very least, if they weren't, like, the electric kettles. They were the kettles you would have to put on, like, a stove and heat that up. And, you know, not every teacher is going to have that, obviously. I'm pretty sure, like, metal plates weren't even a thing, too. Hot plates. The stove type that whistle. Yes, exactly those. My parents used one of those, like, a lot. Kettle used a microwave like everyone. Oh no, Venom, you're gonna be setting off people there. And to be honest, I would probably agree with that, right? If you want, like, true boiling water, no. Use a kettle, man. You gotta get that proper hot and everything. Triggered, lol. Right. I mean, there are some cases where, you know, microwavable water is fine, right? If you're doing, like, a mug of hot chocolate, obviously, you don't need to be water to be boiling. You just need it to be hot. That's fine then. You can just have, like, you know, microwave water. I'm joking. I figured as much. I bought an electric kettle, like, some time ago. Do not regret it. It's great, too, because, like, at least with the amount of water that, the minimum amount of water I need to fill for, my kettle, it's usually enough to, you know, properly prepare a, cup of noodles, and enough left over to get some tea going, too. So it works out, right? I can have myself some tea and noodles. Yeah, like these folk that will do a microwave scrambled egg, too lazy to grab a pan. Yeah. It's actually weird. I remember one time I was visiting my cousin's place, and you know, he was like doing. I guess he really wasn't up to making something super complicated, so he's like stuck some rice in the bowl, cracked an egg over it, microwaved it for a bit, and I was like, "Wait, you can do that?" Never did it myself personally, because I don't know, I just like a bit too paranoid about microwaved eggs. I don't think they would get cooked through enough, so I always just like, you know, do mine over the stove. I mean, it's really not that hard, right? You just like, you know, get the pan, make sure you put some butter, some grease on it, and you can cook the eggs in like, you know, a few seconds, boom, they're done. Maybe even sooner, depending on the, you know, what style of eggs you want. Like, I don't know, anytime I, like, fry an egg for, my instant noodles, I always, you know, just, like, it only takes, like, maybe a few seconds at most, and, you know, I got that egg already. I say that, but I don't do fried, scrambled, or poached egg. Wow. Are you like a hard-boiled egg type of fella? There's a lot of ways to enjoy eggs. I'm not gonna knock on anyone who prefers one way over another. And look at me. I love my eggs sunny side up. I love a good runny yolk, but I'm the only person in my family who enjoys it like that. I think everyone else kind of wants a fully cooked egg, so I'm fine with those too, but I don't know. Something about runny yolk I really enjoy. I hate eggs, but like omelets. Like, I like ketchup, but hate tomatoes. You know, I can get that. Eggs as by itself just might be missing that something that you can put into an omelet. And, you know, ketchup and tomatoes are, like, sufficiently different, too. Right, considering ketchup tends to be more like, you know, a complement to a dish, while tomatoes can sometimes be like, you know, more of the main part of it. Always been super fussy with food. As a kid, my nan would have to cook different meals for her, my mom, and me. I'm glad your nan was accommodating for you. I think that's something more people are realizing too. Is like, you really can't you know, force kids to be eating something they don't want to eat. Gotta try to, like, start them on the good habits earlier. Try to coax them. You know, be gentle with them. Don't try to power your way through it. It ends up having unintended consequences. Ketchup is soup, while tomatoes are physique stuff that I don't like. Well, the nice thing about food is that there's a ton of it out there, so even if there are things that you can't eat or would rather not eat, there's still plenty of other things you could, go for. Worst fruit ever, tomatoes. Something about the texture. Yeah, texture, mouthfeel. I feel like that's a big reason why people don't like most foods, or most people don't like certain foods. Bananas. Oh yeah, that's when I see a lot. I can see why, right? If you're not like the type of person who likes that sort of extreme mush, then yeah, bananas are totally not gonna be for you. The mushy texture, yeah. The mouthfeel, as some people would put it. Funny thing about bananas is that, weirdly enough, I've seen this story a few times where I'll see someone remark about how, oh man, bananas are so great, but I hate how they leave a burning sensation in your mouth, or they like taste really spicy. And that's usually what leads other people to come out and go, you know, that might actually be because you're allergic to bananas. And then the original person goes, wait, what? I thought they all tasted like that. Like, no, that's not how they actually taste. I'm like, oh no. Sorry you had to learn that way. It's a bummer, right? Because they would be like the type of person who would absolutely love bananas if it weren't for a little thing that they were allergic to them. Also, was that like a TC2 race that I did not have to completely run my head against the wall like 700,000 times? Holy cow. This could be the start of his streak. No, not for this event. That was a lucky break. That was a miracle, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm sure by TC4, I'm gonna run into some other brick wall somehow. It's gonna start snowing or something, or maybe like aliens will just start blowing up sections of the track. I don't know. For some reason, it's like that particular event just wants to spite me. Either that or I suck at it. But I'm gonna go with the latter. Or the former. I'm gonna go with the former. Because that's how I cope.
Go, go, go.
They stink to high heaven when you open the boxes when I worked at the supermarket. We got them in fresh every morning, and OMG, the sweaty smell and the worry of finding some tropical spider in there. Oh, yeah. The bugs. Though that's always going to be a risk, no matter what fresh produce you get. I gotta admit, even though I'm pretty sure, you know, the workers probably do their utmost care to make sure, you know, every vegetable is fit to sell, I find myself checking over them anyway. Right, looking over, making sure that there isn't anything that looks like it's spoiled or anything like that, or you know, no signs of bugs inside. Always double check myself just to make sure. Because you never know, right? Sometimes it can be overlooked. Everyone is only human. Things are going to pass by here and there. Worst job I ever had there. I had to scan the waste food to add how much money was lost. Going through rotten and moldy food is no fun when you're stood in a cold walk-in chiller. The heck, you had to do that? Well, I guess it can be useful if people want to figure out how much they want to order for, like, the next period, but... yeah, that's, like, one of those jobs you or at least one of those, like, aspects of a job you don't hear about that much. The ones who have to deal with the stuff you would normally just throw away. I'd be stood there picking out all the rotten fruit and stuff and scanning the barcodes. Ah, frick, man. Yeah, that ain't great. kind of thing where you just lose your appetite. It's like, man, I don't want to eat anything anymore, but I'm mega hungry. I definitely won't be able to eat anything. It's like a double dose of suffering. The closest I've ever gotten to, like, working with food was working for a restaurant. And I don't think I ever had to inventory, like, food that was going to go to waste. Then again, it's not like we had, like, any way to reasonably measure that. We just had to... I think you could just, like, eyeball it, so you could figure out how much each thing you needed to order for the next period. Really know what you're worth when you're going through garbage like some raccoon. Wow. That far, huh? Potatoes are bad too. The smell could peel wallpaper off. Wow, man. Can only imagine. They don't tell you when you work in a supermarket. Oh yeah. It's like you think it's gonna be, oh yeah, either you're gonna be the person who just restocks the shelves, or you're gonna be the person who stands in the checkout cashier line and ring purchases up and handle the money. But probably a lot more things to do than that. There's the cleanup, there's the opening, there's the closing. Depending on which department you work, you might have some other duties on top of that. Had its perks though, no cameras in the chillers, so you could chow down on some food if you get peckish. Your own food, I imagine. Yep, I was on produce to start with. Ah, alright, nice. Hard work, that's for sure. I can't imagine. That's one of the nice things about working at the place for a while, though. You start figuring things out about it, right? You start figuring out, all the best spots, all the optimal times for everything. How long you can do certain things and what certain folks will allow you to do and what they might be on the lookout for. Start recognizing patterns. You start recognizing just like trends and things, and you find your ways to work with them or work around them. Boxes of watermelons, 9 to a box. Wow. They had to be small watermelons, right? Because I can only imagine, like, a watermelon that would be the size of a watermelon you would think, and it's like, ooh. Yeah, that would be large and heavy. There's an education and types of fruit and vegetables, too. Full size! Oh my god. Okay, wow. Definitely would require a lot of strength to haul around. And you have to be extra careful with that. Definitely don't want to drop it. Yeah, I guess that would be one of the perks of working at a supermarket. You start learning more about all sorts of different types of food. And if you're, especially for like the person who's into food, maybe that opens up some new avenues to explore, some new dishes to try out. Manual lifting and all that, yeah. I mean, there's like even more roles in supermarket these days too, especially after the world situation and all that. Now you got like employees doing the dedicated, proxy shopping for the people who order groceries online, or like have to set it up for delivery and stuff. You gotta have like the people to run them out to the folks who are picking them up too. So there's also that. That's how I found one of my favorite fruits, Oriental pears. Ooh, yeah. It's nice when you get that sort of discovery. Home shopping must have clothes sections now. Whoa. Yeah, I think we had some stores in the U.S. that were kind of like that. Rather famously, Walmart kind of got it started as like a smaller type of store, but they just like kind of grafted more things onto it, and now it's like it's like a one-stop shop for your everything. The bigger ones have cafes too. Oh yeah, I've seen that pop up in a couple of my supermarkets too, right? You'll have like a stand dedicated to coffee, or stand dedicated to other foods. Maybe they'll have like an in-house store. They've started doing like ready-made meals as well, so you can get yourself like a sandwich or a soup there if you wanted, right? Just grab yourself dinner while you're out there shopping for groceries. I've actually taken up to doing that. Anytime I go grocery shopping, I'll usually just like pick up some sort of pre-made meal there, so I can just like go home and start eating it. I guess they got me in that regard. Electricals with your games and consoles, etc. Homeware, gardening stuff. Yeah, we got something like that too. Like some of the bigger stores will carry cleaning supplies, or like pet supplies, or party supplies. I'll have like paper plates and napkins, and even greeting cards, right? They have a whole section dedicated to greeting cards. I feel like that's like a common thing you see in supermarkets. Even phones too. Oh man, I don't think we've got like any supermarket that's gotten that advanced. Mostly they kind of those stay to like the warehouse stores around here. At most you'll probably get something like a kiosk with someone who's temporarily set up shop to sell phones there. As a kid, my favorite was the magazine aisle. Stand there reading while my mom shopped. Ah, man, I remember magazines. Those were fun, just seeing like a whole line of variety of magazines. Like, oh man, what sort of topics do they cover? Especially when, gaming magazines used to be big. I know I would go out there and see like Electronic Gaming Monthly and Game Pro and Game Informer, and just like maybe leaf through them real quick, see all the hottest things coming out. You know, before the internet was a thing. And before they started sealing up the magazines so that people would stop doing that. Key cutting shoe repair. Oh, wow. Yeah, Walmart's here. Some of the Walmarts here do have like the key cutting service. Like I remember when, you know, the all-purpose Walmart was like actually an uncommon thing. And they would usually denote those by calling them supercenters. But after a certain point, it was like every Walmart had like, you know, the one-stop shop aspect to them, so they just called them all Walmart after that. And then it was like, by that point, finding an actual Walmart that was just like a Walmart of old was like finding, Bigfoot or something. They were out there, but they were very, very rare. They were usually in places that were like less populated. You know, places where you wouldn't expect, you wouldn't have need of like a one-stop shop, you know. Some of them have like Subways or McDonald's in them. A whole variety of stores, and sometimes if they don't have that, they just have like some sort of in-house shop that, or in-house cafe. You know, something like a Costco does. Like one of the things Costco is famous for is having the hot dog that has not raised in price like ever. Like to this day, you want a hot dog? $1.50. That's it. That's all you gotta pay. Quite nice, right? Because that means get yourself some affordable food. Oh, I guess you probably also have to pay for a Costco membership. There is that. But you know, you there's a lot of things, other things you get at Costco, right? The $1.50 hot dog is like a bonus. All right, round 3 of the Kart Club trophy. So let's just get in here. Let's get it through. The main one I go to has an optician's and a pharmacy. Oh, man. Really is a one-stop shop, isn't it? Goddamn. Get your prescriptions filled out. Oh, all your prescriptions filled out, actually. I know there's some warehouse stores that also do like some limited auto services as well. So if you need like a tire change or something, you could get them there too. That seems wild to me. I liked hitting up Target for the toy owl and stuff. Yeah, I know, especially since Target tends to get like exclusive editions of certain games too. Like I remember I was like looking up Spirit Island because I wanted to get that, and I saw that was like a Target edition of that game that included like different parts and characters and all that, and I was just like, wow, pretty wild. If you want like a complete collection, you have to go to Target to buy it. Pizza from Costco is pretty good for the value. Huh. I'm guessing Costco food on the whole is just like very affordable. But especially the hot dog. OMG, we have Costco here! Ooh. So we're about to enter ad mode soon, so take your time to get whatever you need. I'll see you in 90 seconds. Personally, I want to just, like, keep on doing races tonight until we, actually roll over into a new class, because... Holy cow. Superkarts. This has been... a lot. Granted, at least we've been doing other types of events, right? We've had, like, touring cars, we've had other types of cars as well. Hasn't been all superkarts, but... it does seem like we're doing a lot more events, especially when you compare it to, like, the first level of karts. That was just, like... the one championship, got the trophy, and then we were on our merry way. It's like with superkarts, like 3 weeks later, we're still mainly on superkarts. Part of me just wonders, man, did I pick a bad place to start? Maybe I should have started, like, beyond karts, but I figured I'd do karts because, man, what other sim racing game out there just lets you ride karts? It's not something you see too much. I feel like if there were a kart racer, it would be its own separate game, but Project Cars is like, nah, man. When we say cars, we mean all cars, and that includes karts. I can appreciate that for that. Just like hear them from behind, even though they're like a little bit distance away. At least that's what the radar shows. They might be like a whole lot closer. It's just that the overhead doesn't quite convey that. Also, welcome back to Adland. You're gonna be seeing those go-karts in your sleep. I've already been seeing them. I've been doing this so much. I just even see them when I'm doing something else. I've been like walking down the sidewalk and I'll just suddenly hear this buzz, look around and see no karts. Realize, it was all in my head. I was like playing Crew Motorfest. Suddenly I hear the buzzing. I look around and I realize, oh wait, I'm flying a plane. Of course I would hear buzzing to an extent. I'd be playing Animal Crossing, and I hear a buzzing. I'd go, wait, is that a cart? Wait, no, that's bees. Oh, geez, I need to run. I need to get inside the building quick before they catch up to me. Oh, jeez. You know, I ain't even mad at that. What the heck was that rollover even? No one saw that. No one saw that. Look at that. Look at that. I got first. Fair and square. Totally. Absolutely. 100%. I totally earned that win. Yes, absolutely. Hey, look at that. Trophy. Let's go. This other mod. Oh, okay, it was a quote. Yeah, we'll send that through. Strike again. Yes, I do. 2018, some guy at the company said they needed to raise the price of the hot dog. The CEO said, and I quote, "If you raise that effing hot dog, I will kill you. Figure it out." Said they created their own hot dog manufacturing plant in Los Angeles to keep the price low. I remember reading about that. And hey, big ups to the CEO, right? It's like, look, this is what the customers come to expect of us. Oh boy, here we go. Historic TC. At the very least, this is the final round of it, so once we get through this, we don't have to look at that car. Hopefully, we will never have to look at that car again. Oh my god, I can already see, like, maybe a few spots in which turning is gonna be a real bitch with this vehicle I have. Oh, god damn it. Alright. Well, this is why we have the qualifying session, so I can figure this stuff out. Yeah, it's like, don't you dare fucking do it. Well, you know what they say, restrictions breed creativity. Right, you close off an avenue like, raise the price, then you're gonna have to hopefully make them seek out alternative means. Maybe ones that might be for the better. On the other hand, it could be for the worse, because you might see them, like, you know, resort to drastic measures in order to get a thing done. I guess you have to strike a balance there. Right, you gotta make sure your demands are firm, but not unreasonable. It's kind of like the key thing there. You don't want to be unreasonable. You gotta make sure it's like something they can feasibly achieve. That seems to be like a thing that a lot of higher-ups miss, unfortunately. Set targets, and then their employees explain to them why that's not realistic, and they say, well, do it anyway. Whatever. I'm not the one who has to implement it, what do I care? All things in moderation. We can circle around back to that, right? You gotta have all things in moderation. Comes down to retailer contracts for my work. It's like, as in, okay, we want this company to be delivering for us. So you're the one who has to, like, you know, do the transport of the materials to where they need to go. You pick them up at a spot and then you carry them over to the other spot. And that is your job. Yeah, distribution centers. Oh, yeah. I had a friend who worked for a distribution center, although they worked for, like, a delivery company and not for, like, a specific manufacturer or anything, but yeah. We certainly talked a lot about how their routines consisted of, you know, having the trucks come in and, you know, sorting out the boxes to make sure you send them off to the right spot. Make sure that the right person has them so that deliveries can go efficiently. It's a whole operation, man. You gotta keep that going like a well-oiled machine. Like, we want all this delivered over 6 or 12 months, and we do it. Oh! Well, I guess that's a good way to have constant work. It's like, alright, so this month we want you to bring over this month, and then this month we want you to bring over this month. Or maybe we want you to bring over so much every month. Get that done. Not so much supermarkets, because they have their own logistics. Oh yeah, if you're handling fresh food, that kind of requires its own plan there. Special set of trucks to make sure the food stays fresh, and a different timetable for everything, because, well, food spoils. Not to mention, you know, different types of foods need to be kept at different environments, so you gotta prepare for that too. You know, depending on the type of food you're carrying, you might need different routes or a different type of vehicle to maybe absorb more or less shock as needed. In the transport industry, sometimes it's more like, I don't care about the cost, just do it. Sometimes you just need to get it from one place to another in a certain amount of time, and well, depending on the options you're given, you're just gonna have to pick one, and you're gonna have to live with it. That's why reefer trailers can have different temperatures in different zones. Oh yeah. Feeling that this race might be a bit of a problem. If I can get like one good clean lap in, it's a decent enough time. Like 7th in this car really isn't gonna cut it. I need to be like 1st or 2nd. Maybe 3rd or 4th I could probably manage, but the closer I get to the top, the better off I'll be. Whew. Survived that one. I thought I was done, but thankfully my car stayed mostly in control. Okay, I think we're about to enter the hairpin land. This is where I gotta be extra careful. Sure, I slow the fuck down. So I don't get like too many more laps in order, too many more laps left to set a time. I probably have one more after this. Got like 1:20 left. And thankfully, this game lets you finish your last lap. At least in single player. Imagine in multiplayer they might go, alright, you got 10 minutes and that's it. Where's that gonna put me? 9th? Oh, first. Okay. I was gonna say, I'm sure it was because they were calculating my position. And someone just happened to get ahead of me before they recalculated my rank. Alright, well, I'm feeling good. I'm starting in the front. This is gonna make things a lot more manageable. Not a cakewalk, especially the second event especially proved that, but hopefully this won't be as horrifying as that first TC2 race was. What BS was that? Cutting a grass like that? You get used to it. I already did this off-road shenanigans before, but I'm like, I saw that. I was like, dang it. But yeah, you know, that's the kind of shenanigans where if I tried that, I would be going straight into a wall, like I would be right here, right? Suddenly I'm just like, slip sliding, like it should be. AI though, nah. For them, grass is just like extra pavement. Cheating AI strikes again. It sure does. Even that 1%. Goddamn. They've been taking lessons from the drivatars. Let's see, it's a 2015 game, so they might have. Forget, it was like Forza Horizon 2, I want to say, started like doing the whole drivatar thing. Was that Forza Horizon 3? Forget. I'm pretty sure 1 had like the traditional AI racers, but it was like after a certain point in the Horizon series, they started kind of like, you know, determining computer behavior through player behavior. That's kind of what we're stuck with now. Just gonna restart that. I messed up somewhere at some point. Yeah, they copied Forza Motorsport. Bergen did just awful. Saw that person trying to slip around me there, but they decided against it. I got 3 laps on this thing. Uh-oh. Man, it's just different when you get like a whole massive line of cars behind you. That even one error or just like one moment of going a bit too slow, everyone's just gonna pull ahead of you. Really got to be extra careful with the driving line. It's like I really got to stop braking if I see red. It's like if I see yellow, that's when I really got to brake. And look, this motherfucker's trying to get around me again. Oh wait, no, they are getting around me. What the heck? I mean, the roads are wide, so every opportunity to do do so, but yeah, especially at like a hairpin turn like this one. I don't want to go trying to coast through it because this game will not let you do that. I think it's like this turn here where I always screw up. Because I'm always like hitting accelerate and letting that on for too long. I had to let go and just like brake way earlier. Take it extra slow. Alright, first lap, still in first. That is usually a good sign. As far as I can tell, does not look like they're gonna pull any sort of rolling weather-related shenanigans on us. So, provided I stay consistent, keep the pace, stay the course, I should be okay. One catastrophic loss and just nothing but hits the rest of the way. How's that phrase go? Don't call it a comeback. You got this, thanks. Thanks. About halfway through the whole event because we're a minute into this lap. So we're halfway through this lap. Now comes the real tricky part. According to my radar, they are still close enough where if I mess up, they can capitalize on that. So. Give him no quarter. This turn here where I really gotta watch myself. Hopefully, the last time on the final lap when I go through that turn, I'll still manage to make it through and not mess up royally. How the hell are they catching up? They were over 3 seconds behind a few turns ago. Good old rubber banding at work, I have to imagine. Some rubber banding is fine, but it does feel like some games take it way too far. Like, as much as I love Burnout 3, even I gotta admit, the rubber banding in that game might have been overtuned a bit. Or I don't know, like the race segments in the Ratchet and Clank 2016, I remember being an absolute pain in the neck. Because even if you were racing like mega flawlessly, you're still in a position where you know, one error and suddenly you're like in 5th place or something. It was going to be very hard to make up that deficit. Certainly won't deny that. It's probably going to be a tough balance between, making sure that a skilled player gets their dues while making sure that it doesn't get, like, completely boring if you are that good at racing games. Phew! Well, I did it. Managed to get through without any problems. And it says race, right? It's not race once. I think that means that is the race. Final results. Get me 1st place. I got that trophy. Even with the one catastrophic loss, I still got that trophy. Happened to me last week in Forza Horizon 5. That S1 Rally Monsters cross-country event was rage-inducing. I do remember there being an event where I had to rewind the several dozen times just to make it through. Fantastic work. 3 in a row, right? Keep it up, and anything you need, just mention it. So next up is... oh yeah, we're gonna continue the Road Entry Club. I think that was the week that also had like the really annoying PR stunts. It was like a particular one where you had to get the one speed trap in the speed zone, like a really absurd speed, and I think like the cars I had, I just decided after a point, you know what? I'll just like do something else to try to hit the 40-point target. It was then I was like, all right. Let's see what dailies I can accomplish to kind of, you know, get the rest of the points I need. The off-road one that's by the hilly by the large bridge? Yeah, that one. Feels like there's like no reasonable way to, at least no good route to try to build up the speed you need. Either you have to be drifting like an absolute master, or you just gotta like position yourself far away and try to navigate the terrain in such a way that you're still gonna be careening straight through the speed trap when you're going at the high enough speed. I use my trusty Rally Bugatti Veyron. Or Veyron. Maybe I'll look that up. Just look up off-road Bugatti Veyron. It's been several years, I'm sure. There's a tune established I can send me careening through that speed trap all nice and efficiently. Straight cut the last S turns, you're good to go. Whew. That's promising news. Yeah, thankfully that week, well, like most weeks, there's usually enough that I can do that, you know, if there's something in there that I normally just, you know, find myself at an impasse, I can just go elsewhere. And worst comes worst, I do have the Hot Wheels and Rally Adventure Festival playlist tasks available to me. So there's a whole lot that I'm just not able to do. I can at least do that. About to hit ad mode soon, so a periodic reminder to enjoy. Brief break, and I will see you in a minute and a half. I'll be talking about other random inconsequential stuff in the meantime. so if I wanted to just, like, skip to the end of the session, I could, right? Just go ahead and drive here. Oh boy, it's raining. And again, we're in a different car, so maybe things will turn out a little bit more okay. We'll find out. It's raining, it's pouring, the old man snoring. Yeah, that song is like a lot more grim when you think about it. Like, the guy bumped his head, couldn't get up in the morning. At least that's what they sang as a kid. I'm pretty sure the lyrics were like a little bit different. Welcome back from Adland. Hopefully your ads were just fine. But I did want to mention something, because the Steam sale is going on, and I did buy a few things, but I've been looking at some other stuff that I was considering buying. One of them being like the Baton... Is it pronounced Baton? The Baton Kaitos remasters. They just like popped up on Steam all of a sudden with very little fanfare, but you know what? Happy to see them there nonetheless. But they're currently having like a bonus where if you buy it during the first month, they'll throw in a digital art book for you. Admittedly, it's in Japanese, but hey, it's an art book, so you know you're getting it for the art. Well, mostly getting it for the art. I'm sure some people probably enjoy like the lore bits they include in there too. For me, I'd be getting it for the art. It does make me wonder. If you're buying something that has like a special edition or like an extra time-limited bonus, do you go for that, or do you just like wait? Right? I could see it both ways, right? Depending on how it goes, because you know, special edition might have some extra stuff, maybe a soundtrack or an art book, like I mentioned before, maybe just like the cool cosmetic that you might be after, or maybe it just like packages in the DLC for cheaper. On the other hand, you know, you buy the regular edition, or you just wait. You're just getting it for cheaper, right? You're saving your money, and maybe you don't need those things after all. I can see it both ways. You know, you don't let FOMO consume you, and that's probably a virtue. All right, that's just a compliment. Going to the next one, Road Entry Club. We're gonna wrap up this series here. I picked up the remaining DLCs for games dirt cheap. Oh yeah, gotta love it when the deals coming in nicely for you. More stoked that they announced Farm Sim 25 for November. That's cool. It's nice to see the Farm Simulator series is still going. Probably still growing too. I bet they're adding at least some cool features. That is somewhat amusing. Out of all of the simulator games to come out, Farm Sim is like one of the few I know about that does like the whole yearly release thing. pre-order it for £42. Ooh. Like a good pre-order deal. Super good with their mod support too. I gotta love it. Feels like that's becoming more of a rarity these days. Games that just openly embrace the mod community. Like, no, there's another game I play, Remnant 2, that has a good number of mods for it that actually, directly affect the game in some way or another. And they're just like totally cool with it, and that I can appreciate. Giants even have an in-game mod hub for stuff. Ooh, now that's taking it to the next level. Yeah, I remember some old games had that too, where they would like have the mod menu where you can choose the load order and things like that. It's wild. It's wild. They're just like, yeah, here's our game, but go nuts with the mods if you want. There was another game that I was like into for a bit a while ago. It was called Tower Unite. You can pretty much think of it as like a virtual social hub / game. But that one had pretty good mod support too, because you could like choose to import models to use as your own avatar or as like a vehicle, or I think some of the games also allowed like modded levels or even items. It was all supported within it, so that was like pretty cool. I'd say Giant Software and SCS Software are two of the best companies for mod support in their games. SCS Software, they do the truck simulator games? So I would have to agree, truck simulator games got some good mods too. Got the simple ones that like add radio stations, and you get some of the more elaborate ones that let you have like different trucks in there and everything. Yup, okay, cool. Yeah, like I said, it's nice when a game just like openly embraces mod support, tells the community, hey, go nuts, add whatever you want to the game. We're totally cool with it. As long as it's nothing malicious, but people tend to be good about that, and anyone who does kind of, act in bad faith gets slapped down pretty quickly. It's like one of the things I noticed, right? The older games in the series are like, the spiritual... if the spiritual successors of a game doesn't have mod support, then there tends to be a bit of a pushback to that. A lot of good quality of life mods for the truck games. Yeah, in addition to all the cosmetic stuff, there's just some stuff that just brings gameplay improvements, and that's always nice. Okay, I'm P1 again, so I just bank that, take my first and go. Time for race day. It's been going since 2012 and it just keeps getting better and better. Gotta love it. Gotta love it when they're willing to put in all their time. Although, at least for, you know, SES, their title kind of demands it, right? Like, something like an American Truck Simulator 2 would have to be some sort of substantial improvement in order to justify its existence. I mean, I know Euro Truck Simulator 2 is, you know, 2, but I think from 1 to 2 was a big jump in gameplay, so that is justified. Shows how much they believe in it when they're still adding DLC and new game content. And, you know, people are still playing it. It's just the appeal of being able to drive the places where you might not normally go to. In a truck, a vehicle that most people probably wouldn't ever drive in real life. Not to mention, it's just like, you know, super chill, a game that you can just zone out on, drive down the road, do something else, listen to a stream, music, podcast, video, whatever. Don't need to focus on it too hard. Basic premise, but it's so immersive. It is. And you can choose how immersive you want it to be too, right? If you're the type of person who wants to go to all the details of, you know, how trucking works, you can do that. But if you just want to drive from point A to point B and deliver your stuff, you could do that too. And it's fun when the simulation games of those sorts. You see people like setting up these really elaborate setups for it. Right, the driving games and the flight games. You see people building out cockpits. You know, like whole cabs and the whole aesthetics and everything. It's pretty fun. Plus the management side of it too, with the hiring folk and buying trucks, etc. Oh yeah, like business elements, but you know, nothing too overwhelming. You don't have to get into the absolute nitty-gritty of it, but you do get some. You do get to feel like you're in charge of a company. And that's gotta be pretty cool. It's a good base if you want to do like an RP with it too. Start out with nothing and build your empire up. Oh, I was thinking of like, just like acting like, you know, truckers of old. You get out that CB radio and you just like start calling out the people, you know, seeing who else picks up, and you just like converse with them as long as you can. People you might never see in person. Hey, look, a trophy. Another event done. Yeah, this brings us into December. Doing RTC to Lakeville. A one-off. We're driving Ford Focuses. Alright, this should be interesting. We're going to America. America. It was a game changer when they added multiplayer. I remember the one night, my friends and I just played I think we played American Truck Simulator and we had ourselves a fun time of just doing convoys. Game X Motorsports. See, the next event, Le Mans 24-hour endurance. I did see that. Part of me wonders if that's like an extra long race. I have to imagine they're not like that actually make me do 24 hours because I turned down like the time scale settings, but it's definitely going to be a longer than usual race. I don't know. I want to just like, I'm just like playing as long as I can, see if we can just like finally get to season 3 maybe, because we've been spending a lot of time on season 2. Granted, probably took us through like the whole year. Still a little puzzled because, I don't know, kart season was exceedingly short by comparison. I had mistakenly taken it as the standard when it was apparently the exception. Or maybe year 1 was always short, right? They always just get your feet wet with whatever season you picked first, and then the next season onwards is where they open up the entire calendar to you. Wait, is this Infineon Raceway? Oh man, they said the name, but I don't remember it anymore. Or is this like one of those raceways that's had a name change? Maybe it is Infineon. It's in the USA, I remember that. Definitely looks like Infineon. Okay. Oh, what the heck was that? You know, if you heard something like that in real life, that would usually be cause for you to just like pull over right away and see what the heck happened. You definitely don't want to keep driving when you hear like something loud like that. That's how you get your car to fall apart more quickly. Oh, they changed the name to Sonoma Raceway. How? It's like one of those cases where a company bought it up and then, like, forcibly changed the name to theirs. Always a shame when that happens. It's like the old names had a bit of a history to them. Now we're just gonna change it because company's gonna company. Corporate gonna corporate. Yep, right there on that billboard, it is indeed the X Infineon. Huh. Goes to show how much I pay attention to my surroundings. Alright, I'll be on the lookout for Infineon. Drove this track a lot in Forza Motorsport games. Forget if this was in 2023 or Forza Motorsport 7 or not. I cannot for the life of me recall a layout that resembled something like this. Oh yeah, Sonoma Raceway, I think outside the oval. Well, that's the current name. Sometimes, some tracks you just never forget. Yeah, I still remember that one track in Motorsport 7 that was in like the United Arab Emirates, I think. The one you were kind of like racing through a desert, and then you race through like a city a little bit, then you race through like a hotel lobby, and you're back in the desert. Anyways, that's Lakeville done. Look at that. Fantastic work. Alright, time for the big one. The Le Mans. Look at that. 38 turns, 8 miles. Is this gonna be a one-lapper? I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Also, thanks for the posture check. Straighten myself out here. Gotta make sure you do that every few hours, right? I don't know. I don't know how is it like some people are able to kind of like hunch over for a really long time. Although admittedly, with the way they talk, they end up feeling it afterwards, so.
Go, go, go.
I don't know. I think I just like get uncomfortable way more quickly if I'm just like hunched over for any period of time, so I always find myself just standing up after a while. It's been 3.5 hours, so you need it, methinks. Yeah, I absolutely need it. Anyways, when you think of Project Cars, it's probably like more along the line of what you're thinking of, right? Something like this big old powerhouse here. Also, I realized driving this track in reverse, at least reverse of what I'm usually used to, at least in Forza, because I like because in Forza they always have us driving in the other direction. I feel like I actually don't think that there's ever been a case where we're driving in this direction. Yeah, LMP racers. Nice turbo sound on that too. I kind of like it. It's got a bit of a future sound on it. Right, you hear that sound. It just makes me think of Bionic Man. Or was it $6 Million Man? It was like the thing where, you know, they do like the big jumps and they do that sound while they're like slow-mo, you know, stunt their way across a building or something. The flutter, yeah. Oh yeah, you probably can't see it, but they changed the odometer too. It's like a digital odometer. It's not, you know, one of the usual dial types. Steve Austin, $6 Million Man. Yeah. Oh, it was Bionic Woman. I think it was Bionic Woman anyway, right? Not Bionic Man. Yeah, $6 Million Man, Bionic Woman. Similar premise of like, you know, regular old human just like getting augmented with tech that just makes them super cool and super powerful. Yeah, we have the technology, we can rebuild them. That's where that phrase came from. I feel like that's like one of those shows that would get like a remake on one of the cable channels. Right, you can imagine NBC just coming out with like the $6 Million Man 2024 or something like that. Was early cyberpunk. Kinda, sorta was, yeah. Yeah, with a race of this length, I suspect that we'll probably only get like 1 or 2 laps done. This is like more along the lines of what I'm used to, right? You see red, and and you brake, and you're still good to go. Unlike, say, that ice block on wheels I was driving earlier. This might be the nature of the car, too. Maybe this car just has, like, some really, really good grip. Track is so damn bumpy, though. Yeah, I see my car is, like, shaking a lot. Well, okay. It starts skidding a bit there. Just a bit, but I'll still able to recover. I feel like I have to actually actively try if I want to get this car and just, like, go spinning into a wall. Like I have to deliberately touch off-road or something. It's gonna be a lot to ask for in and of itself. Oh no, we're not driving a car in the track in reverse. I think we're just driving it in the regular direction. Yeah, it'll be on slick tires, high downforce, etc. Ah, okay. Still saying I'm on lap 1, but... Did I inadvertently just, like, invalidate my other lap time or something? I feel like there's a point where I went horribly off course, did I? Or maybe I did, I just didn't realize it. Or maybe everyone else is just that much better than I am. Despite me being able to race well, they're still able to do remarkably better than I can. I see it's version 1 with the chicanes in it. The other layout is good. This whole back straight is just foot to the floor. That's the one I like. Yeah, this is the one where you gotta periodically slow down. Yeah, I like the other variant when it shows up in Forza Motorsport. It really is just, yeah, just gun it. Just go all the way. Don't let nothing stop you. Okay, yeah, I missed the modeled this track to be more true to form, because I feel like... No, I think the Motorsport version will still accomplish this in like 8 minutes, I think, depending on the car. And here we're about closing in on around that, maybe. Maybe I got confused because we started in another spot normally. Maybe that's it. I remember having to do a license test here in Gran Turismo 4. Oh boy. Which test class was it? Was it like a late game test or something? I feel like Le Mans is like one of those climactic tracks, considering its length and everything. It's one of those tracks you see late game because it's going to be a big epic race. Yeah, the final license. You know what? That absolutely tracks. 100% tracks. Also, how low is that car if it keeps bottoming out? Feels like it's really, really low, isn't it? Yeah, we're about to hit the finish line here. There we go, P5. You know what? I'll take it. Alright. We'll just go ahead and bank that. There's only 25 seconds left, and I don't feel like going around that whole ass track again. I think I can work my way to first from the back sixth, or the back of the front fifth. I think this is a single lapper. I'm just doing one lap. Is that P2 of 9 I see there? P1 of 9? Survive in my area with all the speed bumps. God, these guys are able to stay ahead of me. Yeah, I definitely hear the front getting smacked around a lot. I think those cars are just like naturally faster than I am. No way I'll be able to beat him on a straightaway. I had to get my advantages on the turns. That's my chance to get ahead of him. Are there any upgrade options? I think the most you could probably do is like tune them. You know, it's like the side of these racing games that I'm like wholly unfamiliar with. Yeah, I'm almost certain that there's no like say straight upgrade option a la Forza, where you can get better parts that you can just swap into and increase the performance index of your car and things like that. I think that's kind of like just the nature of this game. It is Project Cars for a reason, right? They're here to showcase the cars. It's not really a... It's like less about the game mechanics and everything. Career mode is just like more of a framework to kind of show off all the cars and the locales, everything you'll be going to. Nice outbraking there into that chicane. Ooh, thank you. I was surprised myself that I was able to pull ahead of him like that. Then again, I have to credit the fact that, this car, I can actually brake a little ways into the red and not pay dearly for it. Not too dearly, anyway. That was close. Oh, wait, here we go. Boom! There we go. First place. All right. All I gotta do now is not mess up. Anyways, I need to go fight a pillow with my face, so good stream, and see y'all next time. Alright, have a good night, Venom. Of course, Ribeiro pulls ahead on the next straightaway, because they're totally able to do that. Oh, okay, I see how this works now. There's... Even during a race, there's still that timer going down. Alright, so yeah, this is like totally an endurance because I have the time scale turned down. It's not like a true 24-hour race like it would be normally. Okay, maybe if I do like 3 laps of this, I'll just simulate the rest of it. Or maybe I'll just like skip the rest of it or something. Cause yeah, we're not gonna do this the whole way. I did watch like someone else stream like an actual 24 hours of on the Le Mans track. They did it in Gran Turismo 7. It was kind of a sight to see because they started off in like 7th place, but like over the course of the race, they were able to kind of work their way up. Managed to finish the race in 1st after 24 hours. That was real satisfying. Oh, come on, that's some total BS right there, yeah. That point where they passed me, yeah, I wasn't great. Then again, they do have the pure speed advantage. Wait. Have here, simulate remainder of session. Laps to simulate 6,891? I can't skip either. Oh man. Okay, you know what? We're only 5 minutes in, and I think I can afford just like ducking out of there before it gets any worse. Cause, yeah, no, I'm not. Definitely not doing 24 hours. Okay, that was 5%. Session length. What if I turn that down to 1? Let's dial it back. A full endurance race, I'd assume you need a couple of friends to take over driving duties. Well, what this streamer did was that they like went to sleep a few times, right? They took a break. They paused the race, took a break, because they didn't have to like, you know, do it straight. They just did it. Just did a part of it. Yeah, no, it's still 2 hours. Holy fuck. Really gonna not let me simulate the rest of the session. You're just like, nah. You're gonna actually drive the whole thing. Oh, what if I didn't want to? Can I just Oh, they have allow, restarts. Have jump to today. But we're already on today, December 15th. Sounds like some 50-lap Goliath type deal. Man, what is this? At like 8%, it kind of fixes itself at 2 hours. That's it. No, you're gonna 2 hours is the minimum. But you could crank it all the way up to 1 day if you wanted, but well, alright, you know what? Since it looks like that's going to be a big one, maybe we'll save that for next time. Big ol' conclusion to Season 2. I don't know, I don't want to do that tonight. It's gonna put me up much later than I wanted, so we'll save it for next week. Or, yeah, we'll save it for next week. We're gonna have ourselves a nice long chat during that time, I'm sure. Sadly, I have to head off and get some rest now. Good luck at Le Mans. Thanks. You have a good night. Although, yeah, I've decided I'm not gonna do Le Mans tonight. I'll do that next week. We'll have some fun there. For now, we're gonna call it. Yeah. So thanks to everyone who came by and hung around and chatted, and even if you just lurked, I appreciate each and every one of you. We'll be back on Friday, and guess what we're gonna do? If you guessed the Outer Worlds, that is correct. We're gonna continue with Peril on Gorgon, and depending on when we get that done, we'll start Murder on Eridanos. Should be fun. I'm curious as to see what Eridanos is like, cause from the looks of it, it looks like it's gonna be like some sort of murder mystery kind of deal. So should be an interesting change of pace. Hope you will join me then. But for now, let's look for someone to raid. Gonna go ahead and start up this garage playlist again while I look for a raid target. Let's see who is on tonight. Yeah, keep on mentioning the raid browser. You look for someone to raid, use the raid browser. I admit, it's a pretty good raid browser. Suggestions they offer up are folks that I might want to maybe give some attention to. Yeah, Zenless Zone Zero. That came out, I want to say, a few hours ago. The next game from Hoyoverse, so of course everyone's all over it. Gotta admit, looks kind of sweet. I like the approach to stylish action they're doing. Still not enough to get me back in. I kind of checked out at Genshin. I don't know. Y'all remember when Genius Invocation came out and checked that out? I think I played it for like a few more weeks after that, and then I just kind of pieced out. I don't know. Kind of like over it. Story's a bit too long-winded and takes too much to kind of get through for my taste. And then I'm not really into the whole grinding materials to upgrade my characters and weapons, at least anymore. You know, I'm sure like a lot of other people are still into it, and that's cool, but I'm kind of done with that. I didn't get into Honkai Star Rail for that reason too. I've seen other people play it and it looks pretty sweet, but I feel like in that game, kinda pulling for characters like a bit more essential. It's like in Genshin. Even if you're, you don't have to have like, the latest characters to get through everything. But okay, it does seem like in some cases you might want that. Although they have some other things that are just like straight improvements. Like how events stay and the way they do stamina and other things as well. Oh yeah. Before I forget, I should probably stop raids. Boom. Just don't want to get like surprise raided at the last minute. Because then I might actually have to do the Le Mans tonight. Oh yeah, Dawn Trail. I wanted to talk about that. Then again, I wouldn't have had much to talk about. I used to play Final Fantasy XIV a lot back in the day, but I kind of dropped off on it. Again, it was around 2017. That was kind of like the year everything changed, really. It's like one of those things where you look back and you realize, oh, that was kind of like a pretty big turning point. Because yeah, a lot of stuff did change in the meantime. Does anyone else do the thing where you always just like go to that point and think about, you know, if like even one thing was different, would everything have been the same? Is the current situation and the outcomes everything happened up to that point now acceptable to the point where I can look back and go, you know what? Maybe that was the change I needed. Kind of starting to think maybe it was. Part of me thinks if I continued with my old job, be remarkably different. I might not even be here streaming. I mean, I wouldn't be here streaming on Twitch. But on the other hand, while it's fun to kind of speculate, it's all hypothetical, right? It's not actually something that you can reasonably predict to a degree. Because while there may be like that one variable you think about, there's going to be like 100 other things that you might not have considered that have also happened. I don't know why tonight is having like a bit more trouble deciding on who to read into. I see someone playing Dead Rising 4. Something I would usually expect. Oh my god, there's so many Zenless Zone Zero streams. Oh wow. Someone's streaming Tony Hawk's Project 8. It's kinda nuts. You know what? Maybe this calls for someone on my following list to rate. Oh my god, I'm just seeing an endless wall of Zenless Zone Zero streams here too. And if it's not that, it's Final Fantasy 14. But you know what? Final Fantasy 14 is pretty cool. I'm sure Zenless Zone Zero is cool too. Shouldn't knock what I don't play. I have no clue, personally. Mostly because I already got my hands full doing everything else. Like a handful of folks doing Shin Megami Tensei 5, but they all seem to be late in the game, so I don't want to raid into them. This is a game I do want to play. Not sure if I'm gonna play it on stream, just play it on my own time, but I play it. Okay, what if I just like went into the raid finder? What if I just went in there, see what Twitch serves up to me? What do you suggest? Who do you suggest I raid? Like how the top 3 choices they gave to me are playing Final Fantasy 14. Admittedly, they are serving up people I'm following. Guess there's that. Oh wow, I didn't realize they showed tags too. I wonder if I can filter by tags. Oh, the red eggs. Cool. What if I... That. What do they give me? Maybe I should be doing it by this. Let's see. See Elden Ring. See Nightingale. Just chatting. Honkai, Zenless, World of Warcraft. Fallout 76. Oh, wait. Yeah, we'll find someone else. Alright, War Thunder, Slay the Princess. Fortunately, Slay the Princess is a scary game. I don't want to play that. Rising New, First Descendant. That's another free-to-play game that came out recently. Not sure if I want to... That... Oh, someone's playing Left 4 Dead too. Roblox more Zenless. I wish there's a way you could like filter out things, so I wanted to say like maybe exclude a game from a list. Could do that, but does not appear to be the case. Oh. Oh, playing Monster Hunter Generations. I've seen like a handful of people play that. Oh, wow, there's actually a bottom of the list. I thought. Pick one then. Looks like they're collabing. I've been at this longer than I normally would be. I apologize for that. I don't know. Sometimes you just get those nights where you just can't figure out who you wanna go to. What? Nah. Okay, I think I found someone. Playing a game that's pretty sweet. So, I'd say let's go and check them out. If they have this here, that means I can just raid them, right? This goes through. All right, cool. Mural? I think that's how you pronounce their name. They're playing Hades 2. And hey, it's Hades 2. You know how that is. Cool game by Supergiant, pretty rad, so. Alright, nice way to switch things up after watching some simulated racing. Just get to watch some cool, stylish action. Thanks to Malinoe, I think that's how you pronounce her name. Anyway, raid message. What should our raid message be? Oh! Also, hello, Godfather. Sorry I didn't see you till now. I'm gonna keep it simple. Lol. Well, guess at least I caught you, right? All right. If you're joining in on the raid, give them a superkarts raid, and if not, have a good rest of your week. I'll see you on Friday for the Outer Worlds. Take care. I really can't believe they would enforce a 2-hour minimum for Le Mans. Like, seriously, what the heck? Make it at least 1 or something. Jeez. Alright, see ya.